Tommy Lee and Brittany Furlan, once seen as a wild yet oddly endearing match made in rock and roll heaven and internet chaos, are now reportedly separated, and sources close to the couple believe their relationship may be inching toward divorce. Behind closed doors, what many saw as a passionate and carefree love story may have slowly unraveled under the strain of old demons and emotional distance. The whispers have been growing louder, and now it appears the silence between them has become louder than any of the music Tommy Lee could ever play. According to insiders with intimate knowledge of their relationship, the couple has not been living together for at least 2 weeks. The separation, though not officially labeled a breakup or a step toward legal divorce just yet, has all the telltale signs of something much more serious than a temporary falling out. What's more troubling is what's being identified as the root cause of the split: Tommy's ongoing struggle with alcohol. Sources close to both Tommy and Brittany say the rock legend's drinking has once again become a source of serious concern, not just for his wife, but also for close friends and those within his immediate circle. Despite repeated pleas from Brittany and others to get sober, or at least reduce his alcohol intake, Tommy, they say, has remained defiant, brushing off concerns or outright denying the gravity of his drinking habits. That stubbornness may now be costing him his marriage. For those who've followed Tommy Lee's journey over the years, this isn't a new theme. Tommy has publicly battled substance abuse throughout much of his life. From the peak of his fame with Mötley Crüe to the tumultuous years following, addiction has always lingered like a ghost he couldn't shake. Brittany, on the other hand, came into the picture during a chapter in Tommy's life that many thought might be different. A cleaner, quieter chapter. A chapter with hope. But the habits that once seemed under control may have crept back in, silently destabilizing the very foundation of the life they were building together. Despite the physical separation, insiders reveal that Tommy and Brittany are still in communication. This might suggest there's still some hope, at least from the outside looking in. But even the way they're communicating now, reportedly strained and sporadic, seems more like the remnants of a once strong connection than an indication of reconciliation. It's hard to know whether these conversations are centered around resolving personal issues, negotiating the logistics of a potential breakup, or merely navigating the awkward space between love and goodbye. To the public, the cracks began to show in subtle ways. Tommy recently unfollowed Brittany on Instagram, something that may seem minor to the average person, but in the world of celebrity relationships, especially those that thrive on public visibility, it's a significant gesture. It's the kind of quiet statement that doesn't come with an explanation, but says everything it needs to. The kind that invites speculation and speaks volumes about the emotional state behind the scenes. Then there was the video Tommy posted on Thursday, just days after unfollowing Brittany, of himself in a recording studio. In it, he announced that he was working on a new track, and the song's title raised eyebrows everywhere. He called it Stupid Girl. While there's been no explicit confirmation that the song is about Brittany, the timing and tone were enough for fans and observers to draw their own conclusions. Some saw it as a jab, others as an emotional outburst, and a few even speculated it might be a cry for help disguised as a creative project. Whatever the case may be, the gesture didn't go unnoticed, and it certainly didn't ease the tension surrounding their relationship status. Tommy and Brittany's love story started in 2017, an unexpected pairing that many didn't see coming. Brittany, known best for her quirky humor and massive following from Vine and later social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok, seemed like an unusual match for a heavy metal legend known for his wild antics, tattoos, and drum solos. But somehow, they worked. Their relationship quickly blossomed in the public eye, marked by playful videos, affectionate captions, and a surprising sense of domestic calm, at least for a while. By 2018, the couple announced their engagement, and in 2019, they officially tied the knot. Their wedding was far from traditional, just like their relationship, but it was authentic to who they were. Fans celebrated their love, often commenting on how Tommy appeared more settled, more grounded, more present. Brittany was seen as a calming force in his life, someone who loved him not for his rock star image, but for the vulnerable man behind it. They didn't have children together, but they shared pets, inside jokes, and a digital life that painted a picture of two people who had found something uniquely beautiful in each other. But love stories, especially those forged in the spotlight, often have their share of darkness. Behind the scenes, the reality was more complex. Fame, past trauma, addiction, and emotional baggage don't vanish just because someone gets married. If anything, those issues often grow louder in silence and in shadow. And for Brittany, who has spoken openly in the past about mental health and personal challenges, being married to someone with Tommy's history may have become increasingly difficult, especially if she felt like she was fighting a battle he wasn't willing to face. Sources suggest that Brittany has been deeply concerned about Tommy's health and well-being, not just emotionally, but physically. There have been moments, reportedly, when she feared for his safety due to his drinking. Those fears turned into difficult conversations, pleas for him to seek help, to consider counseling, to prioritize their marriage over his vices. But when those conversations fall on deaf ears, the emotional toll is immense. It's not just about the addiction. It becomes about the refusal to change, to fight for something more important than the bottle. As of now, no official divorce papers have been filed by either party. It's still a limbo phase, where the love may still linger in small moments, but the damage feels irreversible. Some insiders remain hopeful that the couple might find their way back to each other, but most acknowledge that the path to healing would require not just time, but real deep change, especially on Tommy's part. When reached for comment, Brittany reportedly declined to speak. That silence says more than words could. It speaks to exhaustion, to heartbreak, to the feeling of being worn out from explaining and defending and hoping for something different. Sometimes when someone chooses not to speak publicly, it's because their private pain is too vast, too sacred, or too raw to be reduced to sound bites. As for Tommy, his camp has remained equally silent, at least officially. No public statements have been made through his representatives, and the only insights into his state of mind have come through cryptic social media posts and the occasional video. But even in those, there's a sense of something unraveling, a mix of creativity and chaos that has long defined Tommy's identity. For fans who've watched their relationship unfold over the years, this turn of events is heartbreaking, but not entirely surprising. Love stories in Hollywood, especially those involving figures as complicated and layered as Tommy Lee, often carry a heavy price. The glamour fades, the real-life battles emerge. And unless both people are willing to do the work, to face their demons, to support each other through the worst, it's hard to hold on. Still, there's something undeniably tragic about watching what once seemed like a redemptive love story start to fall apart. Brittany, who brought lightness and laughter into Tommy's world, now finds herself possibly walking away from the very person she once vowed to build a future with. And Tommy, who found what many believed to be stability and companionship in Brittany, may now be watching it all slip through his fingers, because of choices he either won't admit are destructive or feels powerless to stop making. Their story, for now, remains unfinished. Maybe it will end with reconciliation. Maybe it will quietly dissolve into a memory, another chapter in a long book of rock star romances that couldn't withstand the pressure. Or maybe, just maybe, it's a wake-up call, a chance for reflection, healing, and renewal. But that, like everything else, remains uncertain. One thing is clear: love alone isn't always enough. And in this case, it may have come down to a painful realization. When the person you love refuses to save themselves, you sometimes have no choice but to save yourself instead.